The Cricket World Cup starts tomorrow, and it's South Africa up against England, the host nation, the number one team in the world. England will be up against our very own Proteas, and Hussein Manac, analyst, commentator, here to give us just a little bit of a taste of what we can expect from our team. So, Hussein, welcome to the show once again.
Thank you, Thomas.
Let's get straight into it.
Yeah.
It's going to be key that our captain gives us the leadership to shake off the fact that we've been in 4 semi-finals and never gone on to win the Cricket World Cup.
Yeah, I'm glad you started with the captain, because for me that's
key.
Yeah, I think for me that's a key element. I go to previous World Cups, and no disrespect to previous captains, but I really think that the leader, the guy who is making the decisions in the heat of the moment, on the field, under pressure, is such a key element. And for me, Faf has been probably one of our best, most astute, calm leaders that I can think of in recent times.
So for the Proteas, our captain is a strength going into this World Cup.
Massive. I think it's massive. So
he's got the brain, he's got the ability in the BMT moment to make that correct decision.
Also, he's a good people's person. So, you know, having had the opportunity to interact with him over the last few years as a captain, in meetings, etc., whatever the case is, you can see the respect he has from his fellow players.
And he can bat.
He's a good listener, and he leads from the front.
And he can bat. And we're going to need that, right?
Yeah. And not only he can bat, you know, there's a difference between a player who's just got talent, who can come in and play and perform freakish things, and a guy who's actually worked on his game and started off as probably, you know, maybe just an average or above average cricketer, and really had to work hard at his game to get to where he is at the moment.
But for me, though, Hussein, the big issue is going to be our strength going to the Cricket World Cup is the bowling. We're planning to knock them out early and not have big totals to chase. But we've hit a speed bump.
We have. And, you know, I always say that it's not going to be the 11 players on the field, and it's not even going to be the 15 in the squad that's going to win the World Cup. It's probably going to be about 20 or 25 players. So you're always going to account and budget for the odd injury here and there. But when that injury is a key player like Dale Steyn, it can become a speed bump, as you say.
He's not going to be there tomorrow.
Well, he isn't, and he may not even be there for the first 2 or 3 games. Who knows? We don't know what's going on there.
So,
but it's critical, and I don't think you can depend on any 1 or 2 individuals in a side. So it's critical South Africa really, you know, believe in the player who comes in or the players who come in to fill the gap.
35-year-old Dale Steyn won't play in the first game against England. Unlikely for Bangladesh. You're telling us potentially even the 3rd game he might be out. Those that need to now pick up the bowling slack, those who now need to come in and take wickets, who are we counting on?
Well, ideally, your initial attack. So let's go to plan A, as Faf was talking about the other day. You're talking about Rabada Steyn and Gidi Tahir. Those 4, they were banking on those 4 to basically get 10 wickets. And of course, your 5th bowler comes in. It could be JP, it could be whoever. But without Steyn there now, it depends who you bring in. It could be a second spinner. It could be a Dwayne Pretorius. It could be a Morris. It could be somebody else. But you still need, I think, 4 bowlers who can run in and get wickets. You can't depend on 3, because then 2 bowlers are just filling overs. You've got to have 4 bowlers who are attacking. I think South Africa's only option tomorrow against England is to attack. They cannot go in the defensive against a strong side, particularly a strong powerhouse batting lineup like the England side.
I mean, the batting lineup for England, you've got Jason Roy, Johnny Burstow, Joe Root, Ben Stokes, Joe Butler. The batting is really tremendous.
Yeah.
And Tahir, where we just saw there, is somebody else that will have to now, without Steyn, come to the party.
Yeah, I mean, Tahir's been huge for South Africa. And he's been number 1 bowler in the world at a particular stage in time in one-day cricket. He's massive for South Africa, purely because in the middle overs, once a new ball is, the ball's gone a bit old, in those middle overs where batters are looking to dominate, he's a guy that can come in and pick up wickets because he spins it both ways, he's unpredictable, he's just at you all the time. So he's a proven success there for South Africa.
But even without Steyn, it's a blow. Our bowling is going to be something that I don't think we have to worry about too much. We've got bowlers. How are we going to cope with the wickets in England? Because for the batting side of things, our batsmen don't seem to really cope too well when the ball is swinging as much as it does in England.
Well, you know, what we've seen recently now in England, big scores, a lot of big scores in the warm-up games. So, you know, you may find flat wickets if the weather's okay and fair and the sun's shining, But there was a bit of rain in this last week. So then you may just get some seamer-friendly conditions, especially if you lose a toss and bat first in the morning, ball seaming around. That may happen tomorrow. And then suddenly you need to be able to bat deep. And that's probably one of the other challenges that South Africa have. They probably just battle about 7. They need heavily dependent on their top 6.
Last thing, Rabada, Ngidi, Mahram, Van der Dussen, Petlachwayo, Pretorius, Morris, Shamsi have never been to a Cricket World Cup. That's 8 players out of the 15. Pro or con for you?
I think both. Coming back to my earlier point, it's critical, therefore, for the point you made now, that the senior players, like your captain, somebody like an Amla, Quinton de Kock, Rabada, I mean, the key players, your senior guys who've now played enough international cricket, it's critical that they lead from the front. So I think if South Africa's senior players lead from the front, that's why Amla, for me, is a key player in that squad.
Do we win tomorrow? Do we beat the hosts?
I think we can. I don't think it's the most important game in the World Cup for us, but I think it's important that we get off to a good start.
Hussein Manac, thank you very much for giving us the perspective. We can't wait for it. The Cricket World Cup.